After we got married, I secretly handed over the company to my husband to manage. But I never expected that he would immediately hire a young, beautiful female intern assistant. No matter what kind of proposal the intern made, he would mindlessly approve it. He followed a real estate project trend, invested $5 million, and ended up owing $4 million. He invested in a new energy project, put in $7 million, and lost $6 million. For the emerging AI industry, she was eager to pull my husband into getting a piece of the pie, and the money invested vanished without a trace. Within this year, the company not only had low revenue but also accumulated a significant amount of debt. After I found out, I tried to persuade him multiple times, but he grew incredibly annoyed with me, saying, "What do you know? Just stay home and be a good stay-at-home wife. A woman like you shouldn't interfere with business matters. Summer is different from you. She has foresight, her own unique insights into these matters, and she's a capable assistant for the company. If you slander Summer in front of me again, don't blame me for turning my back on you." Leo and I had a huge argument because of Summer. Later, I personally confronted Summer and asked her to leave. Summer, however, righteously stated, "Eleanor, I have no romantic intentions toward Mr. He. Mr. He deeply appreciates my work, and I believe the company will only get better under his leadership." I scoffed, then made a call: withdraw all investments from Vanguard. From now on, change its name to Evergreen. I carefully prepared for our 5th wedding anniversary, but instead of Leo, his intern secretary, Summer, showed up. Summer easily opened the smart lock at home. Leo leaned completely against Summer, their posture clearly intimate. I could even see intimate marks all over their necks. This scene deeply pained my eyes. As soon as Summer entered, she exclaimed, "Eleanor, you're home. Mr. He told me you wouldn't be here, Todd. If I had known, I would have called you beforehand. Don't misunderstand, Mr. He had me register my fingerprint so it would be easier for me to pick up documents." I watched her coldly as she subtly and overtly challenged me, her eyes filled with triumph and deliberate provocation. "Leo, aren't you going to explain yourself to me?" Leo, in her arms, I couldn't tell if he was genuinely drunk or faking it. His first reaction upon hearing Summer's voice wasn't to explain himself, but to lecture me on Summer's behalf. "What right do you, a useless socialite, have to demand an explanation from me? Eleanor, why are you giving me that look again? I've already explained that Summer is my assistant. Don't make such a big deal out of nothing, don't cause a scene with me like last time. If you leave this place, if you leave me, where else would you go? So, Ella, be obedient and don't make trouble." Leo had prioritized Summer's concerns countless times. But today was our anniversary. I bit my tongue, my voice tinged with a faint catch in my voice. "Do you remember what day it is today?" Leo finally straightened up, glanced at the items I had prepared on the table, and said dismissively, "Oh, it's just an anniversary. We celebrate it every year, what's so special about it? Compared to the celebration dinner Summer and I are having, any anniversary has to take a back seat," Leo continued, praising Summer. "You don't know, Summer helped me sign another multi-million-dollar contract today. Eleanor, look at her, she can help me so much in business." My expression grew uglier with every word. At that moment, Leo only had eyes for Summer, completely forgetting about me, his wife. Summer, standing nearby, finally spoke after her moment of triumph, "Eleanor, Mr. He is just talking nonsense. Don't mind him, he drank too much today. I'm here to cook a hangover remedy for Mr. He. I'll leave as soon as it's done." Summer said this and was about to stand up, but Leo grabbed her hand. His tone was displeased, and he pointed his index finger at me. "Your hands are for signing contracts for me. Let handle the cooking." Summer feigned reluctance. "Isn't that inappropriate?" Leo mumbled drowsily, "Summer, you're still the best. Eleanor just cooks and washes clothes for me at home, unlike you who can stand by my side and conquer the world." Summer even smiled and said, "Eleanor isn't as useless as Mr. He says. Look, she's very good at making hangover remedy." Leo nodded, agreeing wholeheartedly, "Yes, that's one of her few good qualities." I curled my fingers. So that's how Leo saw me, a useless stay-at-home wife. Summer deliberately stepped forward to take the soup from my hand, but after just 2 steps, she tripped on the corner of the table. She gasped and fell to the ground. The soup spilled everywhere, the scalding liquid splashing onto my lower leg. Due to the impact, I also fell to my knees onto the broken bowl. As my skin was cut, pain immediately flared, and I couldn't help but gasp. The previously drunk Leo immediately sobered up upon hearing Summer's cry, and instantly started yelling at me, "Eleanor, Summer brought me home because she was worried about me. Now you're pushing her and embarrassing me. Even if you're upset with her, you should have told me first, instead of doing something so contemptible. You don't deserve to be Mrs. He at all. I'm giving you 3 seconds to apologize to Summer right now." Facing the criticism without rhyme or reason, I stared at the man in front of me, utterly disbelieving. 5 years of marriage, and now he was demanding I apologize for an assistant. Seeing my prolonged silence, Leo suddenly ran into the bedroom, pulled out the bracelet from my safe, and declared condescendingly, "So you won't apologize? Then I'll give this bracelet to Summer as an apology gift." The moment I saw the bracelet, I felt myself sway, my voice trembling slightly, my expression panicked. "No. That's the last thing my moth left me, Leo, give it back." Leo smirked triumphantly. "I told you, you have to apologize to Summer first, or you won't get it back." I looked at Summer, who clearly had no intention of explaining, and felt a surge of resentment. But for the sake of the bracelet my mother left me, I gritted my teeth and apologized. "I'm sorry, I shouldn't have pushed you." "Is that good enough?" But frowned, interrupting me, insistent, "Eleanor, is that how you apologize? Summer, you tell me, what kind of apology do you want?" Summer, her eyes brimming with tears, covered her scraped knee and cried, "Mr. He, I didn't see clearly when I fell, but I believe Eleanor isn't that kind of person. I'm fine, Mr. He, please don't let this incident cause trouble between you and Eleanor." Leo listened and then launched into another tirade against me. "Look at Summer, she's so magnanimous and doesn't fuss over minor things. She's a major contributor to the company. If I don't set things straight for her today, what will people at the company say about me? Summer, don't worry. I'm the one in charge in this home. I won't let you be wronged." As soon as Leo finished speaking, he immediately put the bracelet on Summer's wrist. Only she would treasure this broken, worthless bracelet. "Tomorrow, I'll take you to buy the latest model." My eyes widened, my face filled with disbelief, and I yelled, "Stop. Stop it, Leo. That was left by my mom, it's not worthless. My mother passed away 2 years ago, and her only wish was for Leo and me to live a happy life together. Leo was there at the time and solemnly promised my mother that he would take good care of me. Who knew that today he would forget his promise because of Summer?" I rushed forward recklessly, grabbing Summer's wrist, wanting to retrieve my item. Summer shrieked. I clearly didn't push her, yet she fell onto the pile of shattered pieces herself. And, almost immediately, chose to side with Summer. Summer and I got into a tangle. I just wanted my belongings back. Slap. Leo's palm landed on my face, followed by a tremendous force that shoved me away. I lost my balance and fell, accidentally hitting the corner of the table. A burning pain shot across my face, and my forehead began to bleed. I looked at Leo, his face blank, then disappointment and pain surged through my entire body. Before I could react again, Leo picked up Summer and left. His voice was gentle. "Come on, Summer, don't get entangled with this crazy woman. I'll take you to the hospital." Suddenly, I was alone in the vast house, my heart dead. I sent a message to Ethan, hardening my resolve, stop all investments in Leo's ventures, and buy back the shares. My burn was quite severe, and I had hit my head. The doctor was concerned about potential complications, so I needed to stay in the hospital for 2 days for checks. I just didn't expect Summer to be in the next room. I remembered she just had a scraped knee, yet Leo was making such a big fuss over it. Leo immediately spotted me next door. Sobered up, his first words upon entering were to blame me. "Why did you follow me here? Summer is injured, I advise you not to pull any tricks. Since you're here, Summer said she'd forgive you if you record a 2-minute apology video for her. And by the way, you need to post it on all social media platforms so everyone knows you, as Mrs. He, bullied someone. It'll teach you a lesson, otherwise, if this happens again, I can't afford to be so embarrassed." After last night, I had no patience for him. I just calmly lifted my gaze and said, "What if I don't?" Leo didn't expect me to disrespect him, and he furiously retorted, "Eleanor, I really think you don't know your place. If I wasn't out there making money, how could you leisurely be a socialite at home? Summer is crucial to the company. She wouldn't stoop to comparing herself with someone like you. Can't you be more sensible? If she resigns because of you, the company will suffer immense losses. Aren't you old enough to understand the gravity of the situation?" I scoffed inwardly. Leaving ventures to you two idiots would be the real disaster. Before I could speak, Summer from the next room hobbled in right behind Leo. Anyone seeing her walk would have thought she was crippled. Mr. He, it's all right if Eleanor doesn't want to. I just lost my footing and fell. Besides, Eleanor was also scalded. She's your wife, Mr. He, you should care more about her. Hearing mention it, Leo finally noticed my bandaged lower leg and forehead. He snorted coldly, "You're not faking it, are you? Do you think looking like that will make me go easy on you? I tell you, no way. Just because you're my wife, does that mean I should care about you? If you're faking it, I'll divorce you, and you'll never be a socialite again. Then, even if you beg me, I won't even look at you." Leo spoke viciously, and the next second, he reached out towards my leg. The wound, carefully bandaged by the doctor, was roughly torn open by his two hands. The bandages pulled at my wound, making it gape even wider with his movements. Blood gushed out, and in the blink of an eye, the floor was covered in a shocking pool of red. I couldn't help but let out a pained groan, while the one who inflicted it was clearly stunned. Leo belatedly realized, seemingly surprised, that my injury was real. Why didn't you say you were so badly hurt?" Seeing such regret, I found it utterly ridiculous. Would he have believed me if I had told him? I coldly lifted my eyes, letting the wound bleed. "You don't need to say it, I'm divorcing you anyway." That day, Ethan had someone come and drive Leo away. I finally found some peace. Ethan called, "Leo will be finished in less than half a month." I nodded with satisfaction. I had no intention of making things easy for Leo these next few days. But I hadn't expected Summer to act faster than me. As soon as I opened my phone, the trending topics across all social media platforms were all about me. I hadn't expected Summer to record an apology video before Leo could even force me to. In the video, she looked pitiful, her eyes slightly red, subtly claiming that I used my status as Mrs. He to force her to post an apology video. Now, negative comments about me were plastered everywhere. I laughed, exasperated. Who knew Leo would catch wind of it and call me? "Eleanor, don't go too far. Last time, Summer was magnanimous and didn't hold it against you. Who knew you'd secretly force her? You truly sicken me. I'm giving you 2 minutes to explain clearly to everyone. I won't allow you to bully Summer." Leo, I really doubt if you've been blind for ages. You believe everything Summer says. Why don't you just die for her? I cursed back without hesitation. After hanging up, I immediately contacted the best legal team in the country. The lawyers were still collecting evidence. I'm a person who takes responsibility for my actions, and I wasn't in a hurry to clarify things immediately. I'd let Summer bounce around for a few more days. Did she think that by deceiving Leo, her actions would go undiscovered? I still had accounts to settle with her. At 2:30 in the morning, Leo broke into my room, his face filled with urgency, and pulled me out of bed. "Eleanor, you still have the nerve to sleep? Do you know Summer was so distressed by your threats that she tried to commit suicide by slitting her wrists? You have to give her an explanation today." I couldn't resist the strength of an adult man and was dragged along. "Leo, are you sick? What does her suicide attempt have to do with me? Let go of me, or I'll call the police." Leo suddenly stopped at my words, his eyes bloodshot as he stared at me. "Eleanor, isn't Summer in this state because of you? If you hadn't forced her to post that video, how would she have thought of doing this? How can someone as malicious as you be my wife?" I was startled by the intense emotion in his eyes. It was the first time I had seen him lose control like this. Before I could react, Leo suddenly slapped me hard. "You're going today, whether you want to or not. Let's go. You must give Summer an explanation." At the hospital, Leo pressed me down by Summer's bedside, forcing me to apologize to her. I painfully lifted my head and happened to see a shallow scratch on her wrist. I scoffed. Suicide? If I had arrived any later, the wound would probably have already healed. "Eleanor, is this how you apologize? Do you know how much Summer has suffered because of this incident? Besides apologizing today, you'll also have to compensate her for her blood loss until Summer is willing to forgive you." At gesture, several doctors and nurses immediately entered, carrying blood transfusion equipment. I wanted to scream for help, but Leo clamped a hand over my mouth. He threatened me, "Ella, you're not being good. You have to make up for your own mistakes." A sharp pain shot through my wrist. As the blood was drawn, I quickly felt my body weakening. I lost all strength and finally collapsed limply onto the floor, while Summer, on the bed not far away, had a triumphant look on her face. Mr. He, 400 cubic centimeters has been drawn. If we continue, it might endanger your wife's life. I looked at him, hoping for some humanity, but to my surprise, he immediately distanced himself from me. What wife? She's not Mrs. He anymore starting today. A malicious woman like her doesn't deserve to be my wife. My heart finally died. And the doctor once again inserted the needle into my wrist. Visibly, my face turned pale, my lips were colorless, and my right cheek was heavily swollen. I looked utterly disheveled. You're only enduring physical harm, but Summer's mental state has been tormented beyond recognition by you. Eleanor, this is all your own fault. Mr. He, I feel a little unwell, maybe a bit dizzy. Before could finish her sentence, Leo dotingly led her out. In an instant, the hospital room was left with just me and the doctor. But the doctor, under Leo's orders, also quickly left after drawing my blood, as if I would cause him trouble. Just as I was incredibly weak, thinking I would never wake up again, someone suddenly appeared, scooped me up with a worried expression, and carried me out of that place. It was 2 days later when I woke up. Ethan, my brother who grew up abroad, finally saw me open my eyes. Eleanor, you're finally awake. I had no strength to speak, so I quickly gestured for him to hand me my phone. Within 2 days, Leo had actually announced our divorce, and he and Summer were publicly flaunting their affection, a fireworks show today, a proposal tomorrow, and even a honeymoon planned for the day after. I was so angry I could barely speak. They. Seeing my agitated state, Ethan quickly came forward to comfort me. Don't worry, Eleanor. I've been preparing for these past 2 days. Today is their final day. Vanguard. I'll listen to you. Vanguard. We'll invest in this project, Leo said, laughing as he hugged Summer. You truly are Vanguard's greatest asset. I don't worry at all when multi-million-dollar projects are in your hands. Summer smiled shyly. Oh, not at all. It's all thanks to Mr. He's excellent guidance. Mr. He, is the honeymoon fund ready? I'd like to see the northern abroad, can we? Leo waved his hand dismissively. Don't worry, Vanguard still has that much capital. Before he could personally call for his assistant, the assistant rushed in breathlessly. Mr. He, it's bad. All of the company's investments were withdrawn overnight, and projects have been urgently halted. And our biggest investor, whose last name is Shen, has already sent people to take over the company. The new president is Mrs. He. Leo immediately jumped up, his face full of disbelief. How is that possible? Isn't Eleanor just a stay-at-home wife who only knows how to cook and wash clothes? You must have made a mistake, or it's someone with the same name. The assistant looked troubled and found the statement, handing it to Leo. Mr. He, it really is Mrs. He's name. Leo was thunderstruck, so shocked he couldn't stand steadily. He mumbled a few times, still unable to believe it. No way, why didn't Ella tell me earlier? Vanguard is finished. Vanguard is finished. I need to find Ella and ask her. I need to go find her. Leo was about to run out as he spoke, but he was stopped by several private security guards before he could leave. Mr. He, where are you going? This month's payment hasn't been made yet. If it's not paid, the project can't continue, and you'll have to pay a penalty for breach of contract. Leo remembered this person. He was the head of the new energy project. What do you mean? Didn't I pay you when we signed the contract? Why do I have to pay every month? The man sneered, looking at Summer, who dared not speak, and said, Mr. He, you'll have to ask your secretary about this. She said to boldly ask for money, and as long as the project could continue, she'd split the profits with us. Leo frowned. Summer, tell me, is what he's saying true? Summer swallowed, immediately absolving herself from the situation, crying to Leo, Mr. He, I'm a victim too. He said as long as we signed the contract, we'd definitely make money. I was doing it for the company. I only found out later that he tampered with the contract. I was planning to tell you the good news once the project was settled. Slap. Before could finish his sentence, he collapsed limply to the ground. Summer, this is how you ruined my company. The next second, Leo rushed forward and gave Summer 2 crisp slaps. Then how much money did you take in between all those contracts you tricked me into signing? Summer's eyes widened, seemingly unable to believe Leo would actually hit her. Leo, how dare you hit me? I'm pregnant with your child, and you dare to lay a hand on me? I'm not done with you. The two started fighting openly, oblivious to others. until the man demanding money finally interrupted their dog-eat-dog spectacle. "I don't care if you knew or not, you still have to give me the money first." Saying this, regardless of Leo's reaction, the others all started hitting him. Summer hid in a corner, and when no one was looking, she ran out. "Leo's name is on the contract, so ask him for the money. It has nothing to do with me." Leo was so entangled with those people that he couldn't break free. Finally, to avoid being beaten to death, he had no choice but to sign a loan agreement with them on top of everything else. Overnight, he went from the glorious He to a pauper with millions in debt. He used his cars and extra houses to pay off his debts, leaving only the one he shared with Eleanor. He read the news today. Fortunately, the company didn't fall into someone else's hands. The president just changed to Eleanor. As long as he coaxed Eleanor back, the company would still be his eventually. Leo was just thinking about buying Eleanor a conciliatory gift when he pushed open the front door and saw a figure inside. Leo's eyes lit up. Ella, you're back?" He quickly ran in, only to find the figure wasn't Eleanor but Summer, who had abandoned him today. Leo's eyes widened. "Summer, why are you in my home?" Summer didn't even look up. "I've been with you for so long, and you haven't given me a single house. This is the only one left, so just consider it a gift to me." Leo immediately grabbed her and dragged her outside. "I have nothing to give you. This is Ella's and my home. You shouldn't be here." Summer, displeased, shrieked sharply, "Leo, don't forget, you yourself asked me to register my fingerprint back then. Now I'm pregnant with your child, you should morally and legally give me this house." I don't know what word triggered Leo, but he suddenly slapped Summer. "What child? Who allowed you to have my child? Get out. All of you, get out." Once was alone in the house, he suddenly, as if possessed, started searching for Eleanor's belongings, arranging them one by one. He then pulled up his chat page with Eleanor on his phone. The earliest chat record was from their 5th anniversary. Ella asked him, "Are you off work yet? I have a surprise for you." But he hadn't replied. What was he doing then? Leo frantically ran a hand through his hair, finally remembering. At that time, he was celebrating with Summer at a celebration dinner, drinking until 2 in the morning. In the end, it was Summer who brought him home. He actually brought that woman home. He was truly inhuman. Thinking of this, Leo couldn't help but slap himself twice. He frantically sent messages and called her, but as expected, Ella had blocked everything related to him. For the first time ever, Leo panicked so much. It seemed Ella wouldn't forgive him. "Ethan kept me at home to recover from my injuries, saying he wouldn't let me go out until everything was completely resolved. But I heard him say that Leo wasn't doing very well lately. Before, I had advised him not to listen to Summer and carelessly find business partners, but he had sarcastically told me I wasn't as smart, decisive, or career-driven as Summer. He had signed so many shady contracts that he wasn't making any money, only losing it. If I hadn't told Ethan to increase investment, Leo probably would have collapsed long ago. Now, those unscrupulous business partners, hearing that the company had changed hands but the new head had nothing to do with him, all went to Leo demanding their money. I heard Summer had also run off. Now was being relentlessly pursued, even beaten and hospitalized. He eventually had to sell his houses and cars to barely appease those people. However, he broke an arm, and his current situation was as miserable as it could get. Hearing all this made me feel considerably better, but I still felt it wasn't satisfying enough. At the hospital, he nearly had the doctors drain all my blood. If had arrived any later, I probably would have died there. I had already obtained the surveillance footage from the hospital. It wouldn't be long before I made him pay the price he deserved. In the evening, I waited for Ethan to get off work. To my surprise, I found Leo squatting at the entrance. He was no longer the dashing man he once was. His hair was messy, he wore a tattered, cheap t-shirt, and had an unkempt beard. From a distance, one might have thought he was a homeless person from the street corner begging for food. As soon as he heard movement, his eyes lit up. He tried to approach me but was stopped by my private security guards. Ethan had been terrified by my condition last time, so after he returned, he assigned me 6 private security guards. Leo excitedly shouted at me, "Ella. It's me. I finally waited for you. Let's get back together, okay? Please? You're the woman who loves me the most in the world. I apologize for everything before. As long as you agree, we'll live a good life together from now on. I was foolish. I only now realized how good you were to me." I know I was wrong, please forgive me. As long as you forgive me, I'll give you anything. I remember our 5th anniversary. I've prepared a gift for you. From now on, I'll celebrate every anniversary with you. His eyes were full of expectation, but I only found it amusing. Give me anything? What do you even have left to give me now? The company was mine to begin with, and you have no money. Leo was momentarily speechless by my words, but he still didn't give up. Ella, please give me another chance. This time, I'll definitely manage the company well and work hard to make money for you. Don't you love me very much? You must have been angry when you reclaimed control of the company. So, what can I do to make you feel better? Hit me hard. I'll do anything as long as you're no longer angry. I looked at him without speaking, having long seen through him completely. I only regretted why it took me until today to really understand him. Before I could tell him to leave, Ethan returned from outside. He was in a sharp suit, exuding authority, and with just one look, he had someone pin Leo to the ground, unable to move. I've been abroad for so long, do you really think my family, Evergreen, has no one left? I regretted not having time to attend my sister's wedding back then, but it's all right, I can personally arrange your funeral. As spoke, his face was stern. As he walked closer, he adopted a gentle expression. Eleanor, I remember, didn't he slap you twice? I nodded, and Ethan said, then we'll repay him double. I curled my lips, can I do it? You haven't let me leave the house for days while I've been recovering. Ethan smiled gently, you can. So I personally stepped forward and, looking at the struggling Leo, slapped him without hesitation. But was like a madman. He not only didn't resist but actively leaned in, letting me hit him. Ella, if you hit me, you'll feel better, right? So hit me. Will you forgive me after you're done? His shameless behavior utterly disgusted me. I recoiled in distaste, that's disgusting. You can handle the other slap for me. Ethan waved his hand, and someone immediately came to drag Leo away. All right, Eleanor, leave it to me. That same evening, I learned what happened to Leo afterward. In the video, he had been severely beaten, his body covered in purplish bruises, his cheeks swollen high. Unable to speak, he was forcibly tied to a chair and had his blood drawn. Ethan said innocently, doesn't he love drawing blood? Then I'll help him draw enough to satisfy his little wish. I turned off the video, then playfully pinched him, don't go too far. We still need him for court. We can't let him off the hook for all the money he owes us. Ethan winced, grimacing as he gave me an okay sign. Don't worry, Eleanor, I know my limits. I thought this time Leo would finally learn his lesson, but who knew he would come knocking again. Today, he was dragging an immobile arm, wearing an ill-fitting dark suit, and holding my favorite flowers. It was clear he had tried to clean himself up. I simply glanced at him, but he immediately scurried closer like a dog, grinning at me. Ella, are you still angry? Your brother not having me beaten to death must have been your doing, right? I knew you still cared about me. Let's not get divorced. Let's be together again. I've come to take you home. Our anniversary hasn't passed yet. This time, it's my turn to prepare a surprise for you. Hearing his shameless words, I felt my understanding of him completely reset. How did it take me this long to realize Leo was such a brazen person? Seeing I was unmoved, Leo suddenly ran off, and a moment later, dragged Summer from nearby. Summer shrieked, let go of me. Leo, you lunatic. I have nothing to do with you anymore. All those contracts went through Summer's hands. It must be that she's also been hounded by those people recently and is not having an easy time. Ella, I got your bracelet back for you. Don't worry, I still remember what I told your mother. I'll love you forever. After he finished speaking, he immediately pulled out an ornate box. Inside, when opened, was the bracelet that originally belonged to me. I finally lifted my eyes to look at him. Once someone had brought the item over, I frowned and said, Leo, this was always mine. Even if it weren't for this, I would never forgive you in this lifetime. Leo panicked again. Seeing, he spoke incoherently, Ella, how about I make her record an apology video for you? It's my fault for being blinded by her before, that's why I treated you like that. It's all Summer's fault. You wait, Ella, I'll make her apologize to you right now, and she'll record a 10-minute apology video. Then no one will dare to speak ill of you. Summer was pinned by Leo, unable to move, looking at me as if she wanted to stab me on the spot. But got angry, muttering, who told you to glare at Ella? If you look at her like that again, I'll gouge out your eyeballs. I thought Leo was just talking, but to my surprise, he actually started. He curled his index finger and began viciously digging at Summer's eyes. Summer shrieked, not expecting Leo to actually attack her. "Leo, you bastard. You hit me. I'm going to strangle you." Leo had already set up his phone for live streaming. I don't know where Summer found the strength, but with a turn, she broke free and immediately started fighting Leo. The live stream audience, seeing this spectacle, grew even more excited. Some sharp-eyed viewers recognized Summer as the person who posted the video last time. All sorts of comments flooded in, and Summer's reputation was utterly destroyed. I watched the dog-eat-dog spectacle for a while and then found it boring. I waved my hand, telling someone to throw them both out. How they fought was none of my concern, as long as they didn't disturb the neighborhood. To peacefully await the court hearing, I simply had people guard the outside, forbidding anyone from entering. This way, Leo couldn't come in and feign affection. Our evidence was thoroughly prepared. The financial records of the company and the surveillance footage from the hospital that day were irrefutable. Leo was terrified the whole time. People kept pulling him away, and only then did he fully come to his senses. Ella, save me. I don't want to go to jail, please help me." It wasn't me. Summer signed all those contracts herself, I'm innocent." But the verdict had already been delivered. He was merely putting in a futile effort. Only when Leo was taken away by the police car did I truly breathe a sigh of relief. That night, when I returned home, Leo made the news again in a different way. He didn't want to go to jail, so he actually tried to commit suicide by lying on the train tracks during his break. As for Summer, she was tormented beyond recognition by those debt collectors. With her nerves stretched, she disregarded her pregnancy and instead jumped into the river, dying. I casually glanced over these two pieces of information. Ethan came in at that moment. "Eleanor, the company abroad still needs me, so I'm leaving the domestic branch companies to you." I was a little confused. Didn't we only have one? How are there so many all of a sudden? Ethan replied, "It's because you didn't want to go abroad with me, and I was worried you'd be bullied, so this was the only way." I curved my lips. "I haven't touched these matters for 5 years. Aren't you worried I'll run the company into bankruptcy?" Ethan chuckled, "Then I'll just work hard to make money and invest it for you, so you won't go bankrupt." I chuckled, feeling a warmth in my heart as I looked at Ethan. Thankfully, I still had my closest family member always by my side.